Hey everybody, so Mr. Ortel is here today to talk to us about how we can change a improper fraction or fraction over 1 into a mixed number. So a improper fraction, or a fraction over greater than 1, is a fraction that has a number whose numerator is bigger than its denominator. So let's take, for example, 7/4. So the first thing that we should do is identify what our denominator is. Identify how many parts are in or make up our whole. So here we see that we are going to have 4 parts in one whole. So Mr. Ortel is going to draw a square here. This is our whole, right? 4 parts in one whole. So when we come up top and look at our numerator, the first thing that we want to do is see how many more parts do we have than a full whole. So let me see if I can have that make a little bit more sense. So we know we have 4 parts in one whole. How many more than 4 do we have in 7? The correct answer, like many of you know, is 3, right? So I know that if I take 7 minus 4, I will get 3. So I know that I have one full whole. I know I can take 4 away from 7, correct? I can take one full whole away from my 7. So I know that I have one whole, or 4 parts. I also know that I have 3 parts left over when I take that whole away, correct? So I have 3 parts out of 4 parts, right? Because if we go back to our denominator, our 4 over here, we know that we have 4 parts in our whole. So that our whole down here, or our denominator, is not going to change at all. So I have 3 parts left. Those can't make another whole. So I look that I have one whole here. So I'm going to write that. And I have 3 parts remaining. And my denominator, which is 4, we touched on over here, is going to stay the same. So I have one whole number, which comes from my 4 parts that I have that I can take away from 7. I have 3 parts left over when I subtract my whole, which is 4, from 7. And my denominator, which is always going to stay the same, will be 4. So my mixed number is 1 3/4. All right. So let's try just another example here. That can get a little confusing. Let's say we have 8/5. Okay, 8/5. So in this problem, my denominator is going to be 5, right? So that's how many parts I'm going to have in a whole. So let me draw a little rectangle here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a whole, right? Now, how many wholes can I take away from 8? I know I can take 8 minus 5, and I still have 3 left. So I know that I can take one whole away from 5. Now if I try to take another whole away, 3 minus 5, that would get me negative 2. So I know I cannot take any more wholes. So I have one whole. Now my question that I have to ask myself is how many parts do I have left over? So when I subtract 8 minus 5, I have 3. So I look at this 3 here. This is the number of parts left over. And if we remember, my denominator will never change. So I have one whole. I have 3 parts left over. And if I bring my denominator from over here, I know that my denominator, or number of parts in the whole, is 5. So changing my improper fraction, or fraction greater than 1, from 8/5 to my mixed number is 1 3/5. I hope everybody understands this, and I look forward to teaching you more about improper fractions.